Hi, I'm Dr. Emily Helder. I'm a clinical psychologist and a researcher and a professor of psychology at Calvin University. A lot of my work centers around adoption and foster care, as well as childhood adversities like abuse and neglect. And in both my clinical and my research work, I encounter a number of families who are really looking for resources for addressing some of the challenges that their children might have faced prior to entering into their care. And regularly, I'm sending families book recommendations or links to organizations that provide resources. And so I thought it would be valuable to kind of put them all in one place. So on my website at emilyhelder.com, I put a list of the books and the organizations that I tend to refer people to. I divided them up by themes based on some of the common questions that I tend to get. So the first set of books are books that address important themes in adoption. So these would be introductory if people don't have a lot of background. So they address issues of loss and grief, rejection, identity development, kind of the duality of adoption and issues of divided loyalties, for example, as well as important issues like openness in adoption, transracial adoption. The second set of book recommendations are for teens who are adopted, as well as parents of those teens. The teen and kind of adolescent period is an important period of development marked by a focus on identity development. And there's some unique differences about identity development for adopted teens. So these books that I have listed there address those particular issues. There's another set of books focused on childhood adversity. So obviously not every adopted person has experienced abuse and neglect prior to their adoption, but there's an increased risk, especially for those who are adopted through domestic foster care or through international adoption, where there might have been some prior institutional care. So there's several book recommendations there that are listed, focusing on introduction to this idea of childhood adversity and its lifelong impacts, and ways to promote resilience. Several books there. Those are not specific to adoption necessarily, but offer this more general introduction. The next set of resources focuses more on adoption in the context of healing from past abuse, past trauma. So there's a number of resources there for parents focused on promoting attachment and how to deal with maybe difficult behaviors that might have arisen in relation to the abuse or past trauma. I end with some books for adoption professionals, especially mental health providers. So there's a number of evidence-based interventions that are summarized in these different books that can be helpful for mental health professionals working with adoptees or adoptive families. I do also have a few children's books listed there that help families have maybe some difficult conversations with their children about different aspects of the past. So there's, for example, some children's books addressing termination of parental rights, but there's also some books there that help set up some important conversations that children may need to have with their adoptive parents. At the end of the website, I also put links to a number of organizations. I have some national organizations listed there that provide webinars, trainings, other resources for adoptees and adoptive families. There's several organizations listed there that work on building community and connection among adult adoptees. And then last, because I'm in Michigan, I have a few regional resources listed there for both adoptees and adoptive families. I hope these are helpful. These are not the be-all, end-all list of every resource that's out there, but ones that I have found helpful in my own work and in work with families. Please feel free to reach out if you have another book recommendation or an organization that I can add to the site. I'm always looking to expand what I have to offer to families. Thanks.